So, Makkah Masjid, there have been such incidents, and in all those, after this blast, there is a psyche working, I think, because first such like incidents happens with the relatives or CEOs. So, what psyche is, do you think, working behind that? For, can you explain?
See, in fact, Muslims in this country are feeling very insecure, and of course, as they say, that they are being not only being treated as second-rate citizens. Whatever happens in the country, particularly any incident which is propagated as the terrorist activities, they are looked upon as the accused, not only accused, they are looked upon as the culprits. And they are looked upon as those who have done the act. You were referring about the Makkah Masjid incident. In fact, when this Makkah Masjid incident happened, I was in Hindu. And it's the most sacred religious place for the Muslims, not only in Hyderabad, but it's considered to be a very holy place for them for the last 400 years or so. And I said, when I was asked that certainly it is not the act of the Muslims, it must be a state act, I was saying. Because there are very many instances in Kashmir which have later turned out to be the acts of the military itself, the army itself, the state itself. And there are many instances where Rao was indulged, the intelligence people were indulged. And it is indirectly by the state's action. Till today, in fact, we don't know what are behind this Parliament Act. Because as things you see, when one has attempted on the life of Kennedy, one who has attempted the life of Kennedy was also killed immediately. So what is the mystery behind the Kennedy killing Kennedy? Even today it's not has come out. Likewise, in fact, who are the conspirators behind the Parliament, the attack on the Parliament? Who will have the interest to attack the Parliament? It's not the 5 people who are implicated, and particularly Afzal Guru who was hanged. He doesn't have any interest to attack on the Parliament for that man. He was a simple man. In fact, he was a doctor. He wanted to pursue a doctor's course, who ended up in entering into a business. But this like because I think if you can see what kind of organization can involve in such a big act, which needs a big conspiracy, which needs a big infrastructure. Unless there is some state supporting it, such acts cannot be done by individuals. Of course, it is easy for the Indian government to throw the blame on the Pakistan or any such internationally located terrorist activities. But even for those, I think there must be some one or other state supporting that. And in today's context, no state except the American imperialism which can support such things, in fact. So it can, and the American imperialism in today's context can at the same time create a consent, manufacture a consent, and also manufacture a dissent also. It can, in both ways, that it can create a situation, it can create an atmosphere where common people, the naive people, can easily believe that these are the acts of the minorities. So this is very difficult because the people generally react to the things which the physical eye sees. Innocent people are killed in everywhere. Whether it is Gokul Chaat, whether it is Lumbini Park, or whether it is Dilsukh Nagar, certainly it is innocent people, the people who are engaged in labor, lower middle class, Dalits, or coming from the backward caste, or the Muslims. These are the people who are being killed, whatever. Even take the example of Makkah. It was a prayer time. Those killed in the bomb blast were the Muslims. In the latter incidents, when the Muslims were protesting against the police firing, the people who were killed were again Muslims. So how is that the Muslims, the Muslim minorities, even if they are fundamentalists, are prone to kill the Muslims themselves? Even in Dilsukh incident, if you think that it is the terrorists in their terms or the fundamentalist Muslims who have killed. Why not? Why they have not chosen the Sai Baba temple? Why they have chosen a public place? These are all the doubts, you see. So it cannot be. Even if, I don't think, and earlier when it happened in Sai Baba temple, later it turned out the court itself acquitted those who were the Muslims who were implicated. And in Makkah Masjid case, a thorough inquiry was done. In that, all the youth were implicated. When similar things happens, again, those people who are acquitted, that means the psyche and the question you are asking, though the courts are acquitting them. For example, take the example of Gilani. He is acquitted by the Supreme Court. But the society within courts is not accepting him as who is acquitted, as innocent. That is, the Indian society, right from the time of Babri Masjid, for that matter a long time, it has turned into believing that all the Muslims are fundamentalists. Particularly Hyderabad. The court acquits, the government accepts the report, government gives compensation, but the way they are being treated in the society and also by the police and the government, because in Hyderabad jail, if you go to Charlapalli jail, in Charlapalli jail, the Muslims, particularly the militant Muslims who are kept in the jail, they are treated as ISI under trials or ISI convicts. Where under the penal code, you have a provision to treat the Muslim youth as ISI prisoners. For that matter, in the penal code, there is no provision to treat the Naxalites or the Maoists as the Naxalite prisoners or Tada prisoners. The provision in the penal code is you have to treat them as under trials or convicts. But if you go and see the jails, the Charlapalli jail, there is a barrack for Naxalites or Maoists. There is a barrack for ISI prisoners. Of course, again in the society, there is a kind of legitimacy or acceptance for the Maoist prisoners or the Naxalite prisoners because of a long history of the communist movement in this country. And all said and done, these communists are not taken as the religious people. They may be taken as the political people. They may be taken as outcasts in the terms of going by the constitution. But at no point of time, they are treated by the society as, they may be called as anti-nationals, but they cannot be, they are not seen as parallels with the Muslims who are considered to be loyalists to the other country. I think you got the point that Maoists are not taken as loyalists to the other country. When it comes to the question of the constitutionalists, they will be treated as anti-nationals, but in the context of the religion, in the context of the loyalty to the country, they are not treated as but whereas the Muslims are treated as the anti-nationals. They are treated as unpatriotic. They are treated as loyal to the another country. That makes it difficult because in the society you can't accept such people. You can accept the people who are anarchists. You can accept the people revolutionaries. You can accept people who are anti-constitutional, who don't believe in parliamentary parties. But the people who are taken as not only not believing in parliament, not believing loyalty to this country is very dangerous thing. So that psyche is being developed by the state itself, calling them as, for example, a mother goes to see her son in Charlapalli jail. She gives an application. The very moment you can see the psychology, the people who are surrounding, who have come to see their children, say, oh, mother of an IAS. That means a mother coming to see her son who is loyal, who is not loyal to this country. It's a very dangerous proposition. And this dangerous psyche is being created. Those people who were first accused in Makkah Masjid case, put in jail, narcotic test you have seen, 6 people were conducted narcotic test in Bengaluru. Finally they are acquitted. For 3 years they were imprisoned, narcotic tests were conducted, their health has spoiled, their mental their situation has spoiled, and finally acquitted, the compensation also was given. Now again, in context of Jalsova, they are being grilled. What kind of torture they will go? This is like one who has given a capital punishment, put in jail for decades, like Afzal Guru put in jail for 11 years. Then the Tamil people, the Veerappan followers, put in jail for 20 years. given convict life punishment long time back. So that means they have undergone the kind of torture for these years that every moment they are going on to gallows. Every moment for 3 years under narcotic tests and many tests, under being branded as anti-national, they have gone a kind of torture and acquitted finally. And they are not able to feel a kind of relief whenever such things are happening. In every such act, not only the police, not only the state, not only the prosecution, the society also showing their finger towards that. So this is a dangerous situation. And that means, in the name of India, in the name of secular democratic constitution, all the Muslims are seen by the society. The society has become a Hindu society, seeing the Muslims as outside the society, not outside the Indian, because a kind of synonym has come. The Indian society has become Hindu, and this is particularly because of election politics. See, election earlier divided this society into castes, but particularly from 1984 onwards, this is paying dividends to the election parties. So if you ask the votes on the basis of caste, you are dividing the society. If you are asking the votes on the basis of religion, you are uniting a society, a Hindu society, cutting across the caste lines. And this is from 1984 onwards you are seeing the dividends, because Rajiv Gandhi, after the happenings in Punjab, when the whole Sikh community, 3,000 people were killed, Rajiv Gandhi's slogan was Hind Karega Hindu Raj. He got 401 seats. That means he could unite all the castes in the name of Hindus. The fact is, all non-Brahmins are treated by the Brahminical society as non-Hindus, non-Brahmins. But he could unite all these castes on the basis of the religion. And he could go to 401. In the history of the parliament history of 60 years, at no point of time one could get so many seats. And same is the case with Gujarat. In Gujarat, Narendra Modi killed 2,000 people, and he could muster the votes of Hindu people. And he won the 3 elections. For 5 elections, BJP could come to power, and Narendra Modi could come to power. That this time mixed with the development policy. People show the Gujarat as developed. Always Gujarat is a developed system because of their business community there, spread over the kind of world. It's not because of Narendra Modi, not because of the Gujarat massacre, this development has come. There is a different history, even if it, because you see it on the people like Markandeya Gadju is saying that even if you go by the development parameter, it's at a low level. But he is able to muster the Hindu votes, always it will be majority. And Hindu votes in the name of Gujarat. Always he is speaking of the language of Gujarati. That is invoking the nationality spirit with an undercurrent that Gujarat is a synonym to Hindus. A Indian nation synonym to Hindus. This kind of psyche is being developed, and particularly a state, a constitution calling itself a secular democracy. It's a very dangerous trend. Dangerous trend particularly for the secular democratic minded people, the women, the Muslims, the Dalits, the Adivasis. Because if you see, otherwise, all these people by the Brahminical system are not treated as Hindus. But when it comes to oppose the Muslims, they are trying to unite all these people in the name of Hindus. And this kind of psychology, this kind of psyche has become very dangerous for all the people who are. And this again, this is being encouraged by the imperialist globalization. Hindutva has suited and if you can go by the incidents, and also the 1984 Punjab happened. Punjab, Delhi and other states happened. In 1985, Rajiv Gandhi says in 100 years of Congress in Bombay that I will take this country into 21st century. And 1985 is a dress rehearsal for the globalization policy which has to come in 1981. 1985, internationally also, if we can see the fall of Soviet Russia, Gorbachev calling as perestroika and glasnost. The fall of Soviet East Europe started slowly in 1985 and resulted in 1990. By 1990, Soviet Russia and East Europe has collapsed, and a kind of unified globalization, American imperialism taking the hold, has come out, and 91, the new globalization policy has come. And 91, in the name of new economic policy, P.V. Narasimha Rao implements the globalization policy, and 92, Babri Masjid happens. So you can see a harmonious blending of the Hindutva and the globalization policy. And in the name of development, in the name of new economic policy, in the name of World Bank program, it has become very easy for the Hindutva to make believe the people that the Hindutva is linked with the development, and Gujarat is shown as an example, and Israel is shown as an example. And Israel and India both have become the left and right supporters of the American imperialism. They are implementing the Zionist politics against the Palestinians there. They are implementing the Hindutva politics against the Muslims and also the Adivasis, Dalits and other communities here in India. This is a very dangerous game, where I think the problem now is this, the majority communities of Adivasis, Dalits, not only the Muslims, women, working class, peasantry, if they realize that this is the, like the capital. Capital is in the hands of the monopoly, is in the hands of very handful of people. Hindutva also is a handful of people. And these handful of people are able to make believe the larger society that all that is being done is in their interest. These larger communities have to realize this. And coming to two problems. Unfortunately, it's the media and judiciary even today have some legitimacy, because media is supposed to be the fourth pillar for the parliament. But the judiciary, of course, most of the people feel are true also, that it takes time. Even if justice comes, it comes late. That is the feeling. But the media starts its trial right from the day the incidents take place. For judiciary, one has to investigate, a FIR has to be filed, a charge sheet, a trial, it takes time. But media starts its trial before it knows things. That is a kind of privilege it is enjoying. And media earlier, of course, from the very beginning, the media is the Hindutva media idea, most of it. And from 90 onwards, it has become a corporate media also. So there are two problems. It's in anti-people character. It's both elitist, upper caste, and also corporate media. So not only about in these cases, in every cases, most of the times it is anti-people. Particularly it is anti-studies. And from the time the incidents take place, it sits on judgment. And media is most of the time it is judgmental. The media houses where the discussion takes place, it's not like knowing things or investigating things or giving information to the people, but it sits on judgment. It conducts a kind of trial. And a predetermined trial, it is a kind of predetermined trial. It decides who is accused, who is right, who is wrong. It goes on giving judgments. And it is always the media which is provoking the people. That's where you see there was a time wherein through literature or media, certain values are being propagated. Today, if you can see that it's the media which is propagating violence. In showing that, even in a Delhi case, we have seen that all the time it was showing the live channels, but during the break times, you will see it's same propagating the whole market psychology there. In the case of all these the so-called terrorist activities also, it's the media, it's encouraging. the violence, you think, and it's also creating a kind of terror among the people. So, to put it in one words, media is sitting, the media house has become a trial conducting house. The media house has become a judgmental house, which is more dangerous. And it's also, and that's why you see the Supreme Court judgment in Abdul case, it says that when the court doesn't believe that there is evidence that he is involved in attack parliament. But in the same thing, court says that we have to respect this social psychology, consciousness. Where from this social consciousness come? This social consciousness being created by the media. Where this media has investigated, it has not gone anywhere with predetermined notions. And more than that, it's with its vested interests, it's giving the judgments. And the vested interest, whose vested interest, particularly if you see the English media, the whole English media is owned by the corporate sectors. So the corporate sector's interest is the media interest. And with the interest of the corporate sector and media, it is sitting on the judgment. So it is the media nowadays is not giving the information, media is giving the judgments. That's the most dangerous thing. Because the people have got a right to information. The media is expected to give the information. The media is not giving the information, the media is propagating a kind of its own vested interest, a kind of philosophy which it believes, and that philosophy is corporate philosophy. The corporate philosophy means a vested interest. Corporate philosophy means the interest of global politics, globalization politics.
That makes pressure on the government and the police and the people.
Naturally. President and government is only an agent. Government is an agent of corporate sections. And the media is controlled by the corporate sections. So it is the media which is in turn indirectly controlling the government, controlling the state, influencing the state. Influencing the state in the interest of corporate sectors, and the corporate sectors are owning the media. That is very dangerous.